Welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. George Wright III. I hope you're having a great week. We're going to be going into the weekend here, and most of you entrepreneurs, if you're like myself, are grinding all weekend long. So I want to be able to give you some thoughts on how to create a little bit of balance here. I want to talk to you today about maybe some habits or life hacks you can use to create better lifestyle while you're working and creating your future. But first, let's start with the Daily Mastermind quote of the day. The Daily Mastermind quote of the day is by Wayne Dyer, and it is, "Go for it. The future is promised to no one." I think that just goes to really reiterate the fact that the future isn't written yet. You can do whatever you want. You can create the life you want. It's not too late to do that. So let's talk today just shortly about some habits to create a better lifestyle. What I want you to do is I want you to focus on creating a better quality of life rather than waiting until you hit your goals and getting what you want out of life. A lot of us have heard that old saying, live today like most won't, so tomorrow you can live like most can't. But I tell you what, you can't live in the future. You absolutely can't live in the future. And one of the lessons I've learned is that you've got to create your present life, because that's the moment you're living in, to be the life that you want to live in. So I have 7 habits or 7 things I just kind of wrote down that I feel like can really help you create a better quality of life. And they're in no particular order, but I'll just kind of buzz through them to give you a few thoughts going into the weekend so that you can start to create more of a life for yourself. Number 1, I love the idea that Gary Vee talks about with hacking people. What he means and what this point is all about is that technology isn't always the key. Sometimes we feel like we can do more, better, quicker without people, and technology does help. But Gary Vee talks about the fact that the human part is an absolute must. If you're doing everything yourself, you're just not going to get where you want to be. When other people are doing it, a lot more things can get done. So I really want you to think about how you can surround yourself with better quality people, successful people that can help you do what you need to do, and not always try to do it on your own. The second one is to get quality sleep. Now, I know a lot of entrepreneurs will suffer from insomnia and their head's going a million miles an hour, so they don't sleep well. But what they don't think about is they don't focus on trying to create that better sleep. In other words, don't let sleep just become a default thing you do when you get tired. Make sleep a deliberate thing. Create a routine prior to your sleep. Know that you've got to turn your phone off. You've got to slow down. You've got to get rid of a lot of the lighting and stuff that you have. Create and guide yourself into your sleep, and then create a good sleep environment and conditions. Now, science has proven that the colder the temperature, the better you'll sleep. I've found that to be true. Make sure you have a good mattress, good pillows. Really invest in your sleep, because it's where you spend a great chunk of your life, and the better your sleep, the better you're going to perform. And also, don't get caught up in the timeline. I tell you, there's so many times people think that, they stress because they haven't had enough time to get sleep, or they got to get up early. Your body will adapt. You don't need to worry about whether or not you get enough sleep. Just do the work, focus on the priorities that you have, and focus on having quality of sleep. Like anything else, it's not about quantity as much as quality sometimes. The third thing I wanted to talk to you about is I've found that when you deliberately create memories, your quality of life goes up. Nothing increases that quality like creating a memory. So schedule and plan out not just activities and events, but memories. And what I mean by that is work to create emotions with events and things that you do. When you tie an emotion to a thought, it's embedded in your mind. That's why both positive and really negative traumatic experiences are so embedded and so easy for you to recall. That's why these negative emotions get going. When you tie an emotion to an actual event or a thought, you're going to create a better memory. And then, maybe create for yourself a book of these memories, because you can use that in your daily routine. If you find yourself needing motivation or inspiration or happiness or pulling yourself out of a funk, this book of memories will help you to do that, because it brings back all that emotion, and your emotions tied to your physical body as well, and that helps you to be able to do the things you need to do. So create memories. The fourth one that I had was you've got to just find a way to start a meditation practice. Now, I don't want you to overcomplicate this, because I'm not trying to get too detailed into the specific methods, because they all work in my opinion. Now, there is a difference between mindfulness practices, meditation, visualization, and things like that. But find what works for you. The whole goal here is just to slow down those 50 to 100,000 thoughts a day that you're having, so that you can create more of a center and peace instead of being pulled in every direction no matter where you go. That's my thought for you, is learn to create some type of meditation practice. It might be to download that free meditation app, Calm, or there's so many of them out there. That's just one that I use, or Headspace. But if you start a meditation practice, and here's another example of the Daily Mastermind mobile app, because I have inside the Daily Mastermind mobile app free meditations. Now, I'll use that when I want just a 10-minute or 20-minute non-guided meditation, because I put in there sounds of nature and, the ocean and campfire and rain, storms, things like that. They're all free inside the Daily Mastermind mobile app, these meditations. So use those if you need to just get a distraction, or use a guided one if you need a guided one, or use an unguided one if you just want to clear your mind. But start some type of meditation practice. It definitely will increase your quality of life. The fifth one is time blocking. Learn this technique of time blocking, because so many times we toggle between tasks and we're going through our priorities, and you don't block out time for most important activities. And so your quality of life is always chasing things or feeling like you're not getting things done. I was talking with a partner of mine the other day about how you can get so many things done but still feel like there's so much more to do. That's why they can't relax when they have had a very productive day but still have a lot to do. Time blocking allows you to focus on one thing for an extended period of time, and usually a 90-minute period of time is the best, because you get the most synergy after you get into a topic. I don't know if you've noticed this or experienced this, but usually you don't come up with your best ideas in the first 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes. It's usually towards the end of amount of time you've been focused on something, because all of your energy, remember, focus is an acronym for follow one course until successful. Follow one course until successful. And success, in my opinion, is breaking through and creating results. So time block important activities in your life, and you'll find you'll get more progress and advancement will help you to be and feel more successful. Number 6 is make decisions faster. See, a lot of our day-to-day routine is caught up in decision making and planning and organizing, and you'd find that you just have more peace if you just say yes and figure it out. Just say yes and then figure it out. Because once you've gotten past that mental hurdle of making the decision, that's when you can go to work on solutions, rather than you're trying to decide, do I want to do this? Well, how would it work? If I did this first, would it work better? When you're caught up in the decisions, the detail, and the planning, and you're an overplanner or an overthinker, that's where you get the most stress and anxiety in your life, or even depression, right? So the key for me has always been say yes, then figure it out. And then the big obstacles out of the way and you can move forward. Then the last suggestion that I have for you is journaling. And you've heard me talk about this over and over and over, but maybe you haven't heard me talk about having a journaling practice for specific intent. I feel like you can create a huge increase in the quality of your life when you train your thoughts to be differently. And that's what journaling is, in my mind. Journaling has a lot of benefits. We can go through those, and you talk about being able to get your thoughts out on paper so that you can release a lot of those thoughts. We talk about you can practice gratitude in your journaling by writing down things you're grateful for. But ultimately, you're training your brain for positivity and success. Your journaling, I don't believe, should just be random stuff. I would journal out thoughts you've got to get on paper. I would journal out in the evening, for example, for myself. I always write down 3 things I'm grateful for. I write down any successes of the day, and I write down any memories. And what you're doing is you're training your brain before you go to sleep, if you do it at night, to be successful. If you do it in the morning, you're getting your thoughts in the right direction. I'm a big believer in doing journaling at night, because I think you can sort of evaluate your day and what you did, but identify the positives and the successes you had. And that will help you to really have your subconscious go to work on knowing that you're grateful and you're focused on the wins and you've got direction for tomorrow. So journaling is the other. So, that's the 7 ideas I had. Hack people, get quality of sleep, create memories, start a meditation practice, time block, make decisions faster, and journal to create more focus. Ultimately, I'm a big believer that if you shift your focus to creating the life you want and the quality of life you desire, you're going to accomplish that goal. Sometimes we're too focused on the things or goals and things we're trying to accomplish rather than just living life. We need to remember that we're here to live life and create life. And we need to stop just chasing points in the future for destinations. Creating the life that you're meant to live is simple if you just start focusing on attracting what it is you want in your life and doing those activities. So I hope that's something that's helped you, give you some good thoughts, taking you into the weekend. I encourage you to spend time really focusing on your vision and your daily rituals over the weekend. Don't get too lax. And I look forward to talking with you next week. We have a lot of really good things that are going to be coming on board with my new partnership with Robert Stuberg and the Stuberg Mentoring Academy. We'll be announcing that where we've merged the Daily Mastermind with Stuberg Mentoring Academy. We'll have all kinds of new things available for you. But I'm looking forward to talking with you, and I really want to get your feedback. So please hit me up. I read all the comments and messages on Instagram and the Facebook page for the Daily Mastermind. So look forward to talking with you more, and have a great weekend. Once again, this is George Wright III, and this has been the Daily Mastermind.